About the year 1727, just at the time that earthquakes were prevalent in New England and shook many tall sinners down upon their knees, there lived near this place a miserly fellow of the name Tom Walker. Tom Walker had a wife just as miserly as himself. They were so miserly that they even conspired to cheat each other. Whatever the woman could lay hands on, she hid away. A hen could not cackle, but she was on alert to secure the new-laid egg. Her husband was continually prying about to detect her secret hoards, and many and fierce were the conflicts that took place about what ought to have been common property. Shaking my head. They lived in a forlorn-looking house that stood alone and had an air of starvation. The house and its inmates had altogether a bad name. Tom's wife was very irritable, fierce of temper, loud of tongue, and strong of arm. Anyways, one day, Tom Walker had been walking to a distant part of the neighborhood. He took what he considered a shortcut homeward, through the swamp. Like most shortcuts, it was an ill-chosen route. The swamp was thickly grown with great gloomy pines and hemlocks, some of them 90 feet high, which made it dark and moonday, and for a retreat for all of the wolves and owls of the neighborhood. It was full of pits, quagmires, partly covered with weeds and mosses, where the green surface often betrayed the traveler into a gulf of black, smothered mud. It was late in the dusk of evening when Tom Walker reached the old fort, and he had paused there a while to rest himself. Anyone but he would have felt unwilling to linger in this lonely, melancholy place, for the common people had a bad opinion of it, from stories handed down from time to time in the Indian War.
Hey! Put that down! What are you doing on my ground?
Your ground? This is no more your ground than it is mine. This is the land of Deacon Peabody.
Deacon Peabody? Deacon Peabody be damned, he's ready for burning anyway.
And what right do you have?
What right? What right? This land belonged to me before any of you white-faced race stepped foot upon my soil. Bastard.
And who are you, if I may be so bold?
I go by many names.
If I'm not mistaken, are you not commonly known as Old Scratch?
The same at your service.
Such was the opening of this interview, according to the old story, though it has almost too familiar an air to be credited. One would think that to meet with such a singular personage in this wild, lonely place would have shaken any man's nerves, but Tom was a hard-minded fellow, not easily daunted, and he had lived with so long with a termagant wife that he did not even fear the devil. It is said that after the commencement, they had a long and earnest conversation together. As Tom returned homeward, the black man told him of great sums of money buried by the kid pirate under the oak trees on the high ridge, not far from the morass. All these were under his command and protected by his power, so that no one could find them, but as appropriated in his favor. These he offered to place within Tom's reach, having conceived special kindness for him, but they were to be had only on certain conditions. What these conditions were may easily be surmised, though Tom never disclosed them publicly. They must have been very hard, for he required time to think of them, and he was not a man to stick of trifles when money was in view. At the end of the forest, Tom Walker had said to the black man, "How will I know what you're telling me is true?" The black man said, "The rich buccaneer is no more."
Hello, husband. Did you know that the rich buccaneer Deacon Absalom died today? It was in the newsletters today.
I don't care. He was not prone to let his wife into his confidence, but As this was an uneasy secret, he willingly shared it with her. All her avarice was awakened at the mention of hidden gold, and she urged her husband to comply with the black man's terms and secure what would make them for a wealthy life. However, Tom might have felt disposed to sell himself to the devil. He was determined not to do so to oblige his wife, so he flatly refused, out of the mere spirit of contradiction. Many and bitter were the quarrels that they had on the subject, but the more she talked, the more resolute was Tom not to be damned to please her. At length, she was determined to drive the bargain of her own account, and if she succeeded, to keep all the gains to herself. Being of the same fearless temper as her husband, she set off to the old Indian fort looking for the black man, but she had to go with the proprietary offering. So the next evening she set out again for the swamp with her apron heavily laid. After many hours, Tom grew curious and went out to search for his wife. He then realized that the devil had refused her offering, and she began to fight the devil. The devil had taken Tom's wife away. Tom had set out to find the devil, to console with him about the recent terms on receiving the pirate's treasure. The terms and conditions that the devil had set out for Tom was that Tom had to be employed on his slave ship. Tom refused. The devil then proposed that Tom should be his tax collector, and that he will foreclose mortgages, extort bonds, and drive merchants to bankruptcy. Tom had accepted this offer.
2,000 years later.
It's simple. You can build a car, or you
My family will be ruined, brought upon the parish.
Charity begins at home, and I must take care of myself in these hard times.
You have made a charity out of me.
Well, may the devil himself take me now, if I had made the farthing. And just then there were 3 loud knocks at the door.
It's time.
The black man whisked him like a child onto his back and galloped away. Such was the end of Tom Walker and his ill-gotten wealth.
What right? What right? The right to prior claim. This is laying before.
Okay? All right, now take her behind the tree. All right, that's fine. Hurry up! Keep fighting!
Land belonged to me before any of you white-faced race stepped foot upon my soil.
What? Your ground. This is no.
Exactly.
Your
Shut up.
ground.
This is my ground.
Exactly.
Get close up of my face.
Yo, Zach, look. It's on your face, fool. It zooms in. It's a phone. You doing?
I can't edit you.
Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied. I'm dying inside. Hey. I'm going Oh. No!
Testing phase.
You're supposed to know.
Dying. I said, hey, how you do? Well, I'm doing just fine. I'm dying. I said, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I'm dying. I said, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. Why you wearing my coat? Take it off. I don't know.
What right? Alright, pause that.
My family will be ruined and brought upon the parish.
You have made a charity out of me.
You have made so much money out of me.
That was not in the script.
Slap the rock.
Come on, Zach. I said, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside. Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying. I said, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying. Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside.